Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Aaron Tamarchio.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Pepin. As part of the Redwood portfolio of companies, the Pepin team shares our long-standing commitment to being engaged in the places where we live, work, and do business. We are especially proud to bring that commitment to life by hosting you all tonight for a very exciting evening. Thank you for your support, your involvement, and the energy you bring for the work that lies ahead. Your participation matters, and it's great to see such a strong turnout tonight. We also want to recognize the elected officials and candidates who are with us and thank them for their public service and leadership for the state of Florida. We're grateful for your willingness to serve as a voice of Floridians and that you take your responsibility seriously when it comes to representing this state. We are proud to have you all here at Pepin Distribution and are honored to host a wonderful evening that lies ahead. Thanks again, and let the rally begin. Let's hear it. Woohoo! For victory. Thank you.
Please welcome Pastor Brent Simpson.
Welcome. It's my privilege to do the invocation this evening. Can we pray together? Heavenly Father, leadership is a privilege and it's also a weight. And around this room, there are leaders that are represented, some in small context, some in large context. Some will be on this stage, some are sitting, but we're all around this state. And leadership becomes more heavy when the stakes are high, and right now the stakes are high. So, Lord, I pray that there would be an empowerment on these leaders to do good things for this state, to hear your voice, even sometimes when they don't recognize they're hearing your voice, to be led of your Spirit, sometimes when they don't even recognize that's what's happening, but recognizing that there is a fight on our hands, and it's not just political. There are spiritual forces behind the scenes that are spirits of darkness and good, and Lord, let us be on the side of good. And Lord, I pray for every one of these leaders that step on this stage or that are in this room that are part of this fight, Lord, that you would empower them, that you would encourage them, Lord, that they would be fighting the good fight, not just a fight, but the good fight, that ultimately would bring pleasure to heaven. So bless this time tonight as we celebrate what has happened and look forward to what's going to happen. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Please welcome Terry Varville to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Microphone? Oh, it's on. Sorry, I didn't know. I'm here representing Bob's Veterans and Chapter 787 of the Vietnam Veterans of America. I'm honored to be here today. So I hope I get in the right angle here. Okay. Please place your hand on your heart or salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Speaker Designate Sam Garrison.
Good afternoon, Tampa. How we doing? I said good afternoon. How we doing? How we doing? Hey, when you need a hype man, you call the Florida House. So we're ready to get this party started. So thank you on behalf of all the members of the House who are here today. We are locked up and we're rocked and ready to go. It is a real honor and excitement to be in the back room there with Byron and Senator Moody and Commissioner Simpson, all the leaders that are going to do amazing work to keep Florida prosperous and free. But let me tell you one thing real quick. Everybody in Tallahassee, I don't care whether you're the Speaker Designate down to the newly elected person who just won a couple nights ago, from the most senior to the most junior, from the most powerful to the least, we have one job in Tallahassee. That's one job and one job only. I want you to hear me on this. We have one job, and that's to make Byron Donalds the most successful governor in the United States of America. We have one job. We have one job. And we do that by working as a team. We are one team, we are one fight. We are one team and we are one fight. Say it again, we're one team and we're one fight. That's exactly right. And so just keep that in mind today. We believe in competition. We're conservatives, damn it. This is what we do. We fight hard. And once we fight hard, we walk over to our opponent, we shake their hand, and we work together to win in November, because that's what we do. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And making Byron the most successful governor in America doesn't mean winning on social media. It doesn't mean all the other junk. It means, here's what it means. It means Florida continues down the path that got us to where we are today. The path that Governor Bush started all those years ago through Governor Santos today, and all the men and women who have served in state and local offices to make Florida the Florida dream. The Florida dream isn't just a dream. It is the Florida reality. The Florida reality. And that reality is based in common sense. It's about having a strong economy where people can find work, from the small businessman up to the Fortune 500 company and everywhere in between. If you want to work hard in Florida, you got a chance to make it happen. We're going to give you that opportunity to succeed. It means strong economy, means safe streets. It means in supporting our law enforcement officers, the men and women on the front lines, the corrections officers on the back lines, and everyone in between, right? We're going to have a strong economy. We're going to have safe streets. And lastly, we're going to have quality schools. Schools that are focused on educating our kids. Educating our kids, every kid, not just the rich zip codes, but every kid, because every child is a child of God, and they have God-given potential. And shame on us if we don't access that potential and give them a chance to reach it. And they can reach it in the free state of Florida. Strong economy, safe streets, quality schools, that's what we're about. That's what Byron's going to bring to the governor's mansion. Could not be more excited. The last thing I'm going to say before we bring up the rest of the folks who are going to speak here. You know, there's a saying I grew up, a lot of you know it probably, says, show me, don't tell me, right? Show me, don't tell me. Say it again, show me, don't tell me, all right? Well, on Tuesday night, the Democrats showed us what they really want. They'll tell you they want something else, but they showed you what they want when they put somebody up against Senator Moody, who's going to be up here in November. They showed us what their values are, all right? And that's fine. It's America. You can have your opinions. But what they want, and what that election solidified for us, is the things we're fighting for. The strong economy, the safe streets, the quality schools that we as conservatives have fought to build in this state, and that have made Florida a lighthouse for the rest of not just America, but the world. They don't just want to get rid of it. They want to tear it down, okay? Not everybody, but a lot of them. And they showed it with their votes on Tuesday, okay? Show me, don't tell me. We're proud of this state. We built this state. This is where our kids are going to grow up, where our grandkids are growing up. This is something it's visceral. You can feel it. Let's not screw it up. Let's not screw it up. And we're not going to do it. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to show you, not tell you. Hey, let's have a great rally today. Let's get excited. Let's make Byron Donalds the most successful governor in America. God bless you.
Please welcome to the stage Josie Tomkow.
Well, welcome, welcome. Those of you from not from Hillsborough County, welcome to Hillsborough County. And what a tremendous celebration we have today. It is my job to give you your marching orders, and those orders are tough, but I think everyone in this room can certainly live up to it. Listen, we have a phenomenal slate of candidates that are running in November, and it is our responsibility to go out, work hard, spread the message, and make sure every single person we know votes. So, yes. So grab your friends, grab your family, grab your neighbors, grab your people at church, and make sure that they know that November 3rd is a very, very important day. The free state of Florida was built on all of our values that we share, and it is so imperative that we make sure that we protect that. So I want to thank you all for being here today and supporting these wonderful candidates. It's going to be phenomenal to have Byron Donalds as our governor, and it is my honor to be here and to be a part of that and to make sure that we all get out, know our mission, and make sure we spread the word. So thank you all for being here.
Please welcome to the stage Mike Beltran.
Well, great to see everyone. Good evening, Tampa. Great to have everyone from all over the state here in my hometown, here in Hillsborough County, for this great celebration. Want to thank the Republican Party of Florida and also the Hillsborough County Republican Party for everyone who made this possible tonight. And I want to congratulate our great slate at the top of the ticket, Senator Moody, Congressman Donalds, our CFO, Blaise Ngoglia, and Commissioner Wilton Simpson. Give them a round of applause. And of course, we got a great slate of Republicans up and down the ballot here. I could go on all evening about how great the candidates, our nominees, and of course, a lot of our incumbents are. But I just want to say I'm proud to stand with this team. Over the last decade or so, we've proven in Florida that our leadership has gotten it right, that conservative leadership, particularly the brand that we have here in Florida, works. The Democrats in November are going to try to blame us for the cost of living. And if we have any culpability whatsoever for the cost of living, it's because we've governed here in Florida so well that people move from the other 49 states because they want to live here. But the real reason why the cost of living has gone up so much is that Washington has grown bigger, it's spent more, and it's become more divided. While we here in Florida have focused on common sense. We've kept taxes low. We're building one of the best economies in the nation and perhaps in the world. If we took Florida, it would be a top 20 economy in the world. And unlike Washington, Florida is required to balance its budget. We don't have the luxury or even the constitutional prerogative to spend money that we don't have and to borrow it from our children and grandchildren. That's a lesson that Washington needs to learn. Washington doesn't have a revenue problem, it has a spending problem. Congress needs to start, thank you. Congress needs to start making the same common sense decisions that we made here in Florida. And we also see that Washington sometimes forgets that law and order matters. We back the men and women of law enforcement and our public safety officials here in Florida. We have that same commitment to public safety and accountability. That's what we need to bring to Congress. And then we also have to have the federal government get serious about border security. When we do that, you see the results come quickly. It actually mitigates even the cost of living. And we need to make sure we never return to the chaos of the past. Now, I want to talk just briefly about my race. Obviously, 2 nights ago, the voters of the CD14 gave our campaign a very nice victory. I'm grateful. Thank you. I'm grateful for all of you in this room. A lot of you were either donors or endorsed me or knocked doors, drove me around, put up signs. Again, I'd like to thank everyone, but we'd be here all evening. But the confidence that you all have placed in me, I don't take that lightly. I know I have an obligation to go and deliver the win here on November 3rd. But the victory we had, it's not just mine. It's a lot of the folks in this room. It's for all of us and the great grassroots team that we had. We knocked doors in the Florida heat, made phone calls, we sent texts, hosted events, put out signs, talked to our neighbors and friends. We prayed for the campaign, and we worked every single day until 7 p.m. on Tuesday to get that message out. So I just want to thank everyone again. And that same work ethic, that same grassroots campaign, we're going to take that for the next 2.5 months to ensure victory. We're going to punch until 7 p.m. again on November 3rd. And in November, the choice is going to be really clear. Castor's been in Congress for 20 years. That's way too long. We've had runaway spending, massive debt, a border crisis, confiscatory taxation, and far too little accountability. I did start the general election on a friendly note, though. I wished Kathy Castor a happy 60th birthday today. And I even had a birthday gift for her, which is my assurance to my commitment to preserving full Social Security benefits for all Americans, including those, including those like Castor who are at or nearing their retirement. So I've had the honor of serving you all in the Florida House, and I'm ready to take those same principles to Washington. We need to keep doing what we're doing, like I said. Keep knocking doors, talk to your neighbors, put up your signs, get the message out. And if we stay united, we stay focused, and we bring the same grassroots energy, we'll have another win on November. So thank you, District 14. Thank you, Hillsborough. And thank you, Florida. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless the great state of Florida and the United States of America. Thank you all.
Florida's farmers and Governor DeSantis all say the same thing. Conservative Wilton Simpson for Commissioner of Agriculture. They know Wilton gets it done. Safeguarding our food supply? Wilton got it done. Standing with Florida's farmers and protecting farmland from development? Wilton got it done. Expanding Florida's wildlife corridor? Wilton got that done too. Most politicians, show ponies. Wilton Simpson, workhorse. Farmer, fighter, conservative to the core. Wilton Simpson.
To dream is to live. To live is to be free. And to be free is to call Florida home. At 17, I chased that dream on the Greyhound bus from New York to Florida. A dream that was built on hard work, dedication, and promise to always stand for what is right. 18 months of standing in front of the people of this state, asking one question: what do you need from the person who's supposed to lead you? 18 months ago, that was an idea. Out here in the fields. This is a movement for the working families, for the parents, for every person who is building something for themselves. I fought for my meals. From the Panhandle to the Keys and everywhere in between, one thing was found true everywhere. I get my back into my living. That the Florida dream is alive and well in this state. We aren't in this fight because it's easy. We're in it because the Florida way of life is worth fighting for. But let me say this plainly. the job is not finished, so we're not slowing down. November is coming. We're still building, we're still showing up, because the Florida dream isn't finished, and neither are we.
I don't understand, like, there's no sexualization at a drag show. It's just people dressing up and singing and performing. I've taken my children to drag shows. It's fun, it's entertainment, it's wholesome entertainment.
The way the Democrat Party is going, you would think they were doing the bidding of our communist foreign adversaries more than this country, the well-being of the American people. That is just fact, and we're going to put that on the ballot this November.
And on one side, you will have a candidate that stood up for the state in the face of government crackdown, big government, called out Washington, held them to account, has pressed for accountability when they overreached their power and lied to the American people. You're going to have one side that I'm going to be up against that wants to, and the platform says, defund the police, don't fund our military, open up the border, non-citizen voting. I could go on and on.
In the words of Assata Shakur, it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Like, oh, are you going to be able to work across the aisle with the Republicans? They're not trying to work across the aisle. They're literally trying to kill us. And they are doing it.
In the state of Florida, who stood strong in the face of big government, you have now a Democratic Party that has put up as their nominee a self-proclaimed socialist. This is not some made-up fiction TV story. This is the election that will take place in this free state of Florida this November.
Please welcome to the stage Chairman Nevin Power.
Thank all of you for being here tonight for our victory rally. You know, they say, let them show you who they are. I think the Democrats said exactly who they were on Tuesday when they nominated a Democrat Socialist of America as their nominee. Because what happened is David Jolly was trying to pretend like he was a moderate. But in the end, we know he would govern just like Abigail Spanberger in Virginia. He was a liberal. Now Angie Nixon is saying those things out loud. But here in Florida, we have led the way. We have been the conservative beacon of freedom. We have shown the rest of the country what it takes when you govern with conservative principles and you have guts. We've had a conservative legislature that has delivered. We've had a governor that's delivered. We've had cabinet officers who've delivered. Florida has led the way. That's why we have a 1.5 million voter advantage. And if we look back for just a second, 8 years ago, there was a 250,000 Democrat voter advantage for Democrats. In 8 years, we turned that all around. Because if you govern with courage, the voters respond. So I went on Fox News a couple weeks ago, and they were having me argue with this nice Democrat lady who, from her laptop. It was quite exciting. And they asked her why she was a Democrat Socialist of America and why she was excited the Democrats as Socialists of America were going to win. And she said, well, because we as Democrats are tired of losing. So we want to win. So that's the only way for us to win. Came back to me. It took me a second. Okay, so winning is all you got, but it's going through my head. And it took a second. And I said, I come from a state where people fled from the failed regimes of Venezuela and Cuba, fleeing from the very ideas that you're advocating right now. You're not welcome here in America, and you're certainly not welcome here in Florida. So on Tuesday night, we nominated our nominees. We have the greatest set of nominees in the country, for sure. We're going to take on the Democrats. You saw our turnout. We turned out more Republicans like we always do. We will continue to do. We have the best turnout operation in America. But we need to make sure we give Democrats no chance at a foothold in Florida. So we're going to work from this day forward to make sure we turn out every Republican voter, make sure we win up and down the ticket, so that people can still look at Florida as the future of the country, the conservative beacon of freedom, and they know Florida leads the way. Yes. So as we start here today, our first speaker from our great list of nominees that we'll hear from today is our Commissioner of Agriculture. He has toured this state. He's been endorsed by President Trump, by Governor DeSantis. He is the greatest Commissioner of Agriculture we probably ever had, Commissioner Wilton Simpson.
Good afternoon, and I want to first of all just start by thanking everyone for what a great turnout we had on Tuesday evening. It made a kid growing up in Trilby, Florida feel really good to see that map light up and the wins that we had, and you can only do that if the grassroots turn out in this state, and you turned out, and we really appreciate that. Now think about when you're in the home state, and your home state has the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, in the White House, number one, and we have America's governor, Governor Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida. And in moments like this, I like to quote the great philosopher Ricky Bobby. You're either first or you're last. And and Florida is good at being first because of the leadership that's been in this state for the last 15 years, maybe 30 years in some cases with the legislature. And think about this when you think about the great leaders that we've had with Rick Scott as governor, the jobs governor, right? And then you followed that up with Ron DeSantis and America's governor. And it's something we're very proud of. So tonight I'm going to list off a lot of things that are different about the state of Florida and what we're number one at versus our competitors, which are the blue states in this country. And it's very sad that Americans live in those blue states and under those conditions, but that doesn't make it not true. Number one, you live in the free state of Florida, the lowest taxed per capita state in the entire union. Number two, you live in the lowest debt state in the entire union. You have the number one universities and colleges for 10 years in a row in this country. By the way, we have the lowest tuition in the entire country with the best outcomes. Think about that one. We're the largest state with universal school choice in this country. We are number one in law enforcement in this country. We started 5-6 years ago doing $5,000 bonuses for any law enforcement that wanted to move from one of the lockdown blue states, or any state for that matter, $5,000 bonus to come here. About 6 months ago, Ron DeSantis celebrated the 10,000th $5,000 bonus. You live in the #1 state for business formation. And by the way, this is sad, but New York is #1 in something. Zoran Mondani is #1 in something. And what is that, right? What could that possibly be? Communism is one, but sending businesses to the state of Florida, he was ranked #1. And you know, in the free state of Florida, we do many things right, and a lot of folks talk about this. And when I ran for office, and I served with a lot of great leaders, I was looking here at Tom Lee here on the front row. I served with him in there. It was one thing when I ran 14 years ago nearly now for the Florida Senate, I never thought we would have to do, and it's just common sense, but Florida led the nation here too. We ban boys from playing in girls' sports. Now, the other thing, think about our agriculture world, and I'm your Commissioner of Agriculture, and thank you for getting out on Tuesday night and making that a joyful primary. We got one more hurdle to go. But think about what we've done at the Department of Agriculture in just the last almost 4 years. In the Department of Agriculture, we have received 5 efficiency awards in the last 4 years, something we're very, very proud of. We've tried to make government more responsible and more affordable to the state of Florida and protect our food. We defined the wildlife corridor in state statute just a few years ago, 18 million acres in the state of Florida that we need to protect if our children and our grandchildren are going to have the same quality of life. In the last 4 years, we've had record funding for our Rural and Family Lands program where we buy development rights from that area of the state. We have done over 250,000 acres. We will have by the end of the first term that I've got. When you think about in the first 4 years, we banned fake meat in the state of Florida. We banned local governments from putting medicine or fluoride in your water. We banned 4 years ago foreign enemies from buying agriculture land in the state of Florida. We banned credit card companies and banks from tracking your gun and ammunition sales. And the list of hits really go on and on. And you know, I'm very proud of the fact that when you think of agriculture and you think of our future, in the last 4 years, 4 years ago we had 30,000 students enrolled in FFA in the state. That's Future Farmers of America. And in just 4 years with the programs that we set up, we now have over 65,000 children in that program. Every one of the things I've mentioned here in the last few minutes, if you had a Democrat governor, a Democrat legislature, would be completely different. We're going to have problems in this state. You're going to have challenges in every year. And you never know what those challenges are going to be. You know, you have hurricanes, you have pandemics, you have all of the things that we have had to contend with in the last 10, 15 years, affordability issues, all of those things. What we have to determine as a state is whose hands do you want to be on the steering wheel when we have those problems. And conservative leadership has paid off. Compare us to any blue state, we're #1 in all categories. Thank you for being here tonight. You have got a great lineup here, and God bless.
Our next great nominee is our current CFO. If you've known Blaze for a long time, he is very quiet and doesn't share his opinions. He holds back. But when he was appointed to CFO, he took a look at the role and decided to do it a little different. He is a conservative fiscal watchdog who has gone to counties and cities and held them accountable for their wasteful spending because he understands the job is to put the taxpayer first. Our CFO nominee, Blaze Ngoya.
Thank you.
Florida Republicans, how are we doing? That's good, but we have an election in November. We need to do better. Florida Republicans, how are you doing? First, give Chairman Evan Power a big round of applause. He's doing a great job as our chairman. We're on to victory in November. My name is Blaise Ingoglia. I am unapologetically conservative, and it is an honor to be your CFO of the great state of Florida. So let's go over some success. The state of Florida is the gold standard. The state of Florida is a beacon of freedom. The state of Florida is the envy of the nation by which all other states are measured. Florida is a place where bad ideas go to die. It is no secret what we do, but it's not rocket science. Whatever California is doing, just do the exact opposite and we're going to be fine. People are fleeing the high tax, high regulatory states because they are finding freedom, opportunity, and conservative governance here in the great state of Florida. People are voting with their feet, and they are overwhelmingly choosing to move here. But let me be clear. Florida is different, and I will be damned if we turn this state into the state where you came from. If you want to come to the Sunshine State, do not New York our Florida. If you want to come here, fine. Leave your leftist ideology and your big spending ideas at the border. We do not need your overtaxation, and we do not need your over-regulation. Florida has become ground zero for the aggressive, modern conservative movement. We are #1 economy in the nation. We are #1 in election security, #1 in workforce development, #1 in religious freedom, #1 in educational freedom. Not only are we the crown jewel for people wanting to move here, we are also a target for our ideological opposition. There is nothing more than the left wants to do than to turn this state blue. That's why we all, everyone in this room, all of our friends, our families, our neighbors, we need to work double time, triple time to make sure that we keep Florida free. Here's the deal. Everyone in this room has worked hard for years and years getting to this point. We have governorship Republican, cabinet Republican, supermajorities in the legislatures Republican, Republicans elected all over this great state. All of that hard work has got us to the mountaintop. Getting to the mountaintop was hard, but staying at the mountaintop is going to be harder. This next election is going to be very, very important, not only to the future of this state, but to the future of this great nation. This election in Florida is not a popularity contest. It is not a beauty pageant. This is an opportunity to keep Florida the beacon of hope and freedom in a world that has gone absolutely mad. But here's the deal, and there's no other way to put it. All of the hard work that you have all done, all of the phone calls that you have made, all of the doors that you have knocked can all be gone in a flash if we are not careful. We need to protect Florida at all costs because the modern Democrat Party, the party you see today, is the party of bat crap crazy. There's no other way to say it. Just look at what they are doing. Look at who they are electing. They just elected a communist as a New York City mayor. They nominated someone in Maine who had a Nazi symbol on his tattoo who wanted to rape home intruders. Not my words, his words. But then he became a liability, so they took him off the ballot and they replaced it with a person who had sexual relations with his second cousin. You can't make this stuff up. They nominated someone in Texas who thinks that God is non-binary. They nominated a congressional candidate in New Jersey who helped terrorists defend themselves in court, accused of being part of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. And just the other day, in the great state of Florida, they nominated someone who is out there, to say the least, and she held Black Lives Matter rallies on the floor of the Florida House. Now, I'm sorry to say that these aren't one-offs. These are the Democrat Party today. This is who they are. So here's the deal. More than 50 DSA-backed candidates, Democrat Socialists of America-backed candidates, have become the Democrat Party nominees over the last couple of months. Over 50. That is not even counting, I think, 60 more that they still have to have their primaries. The Democrat Party is the Democrat Socialists of America today, and the Democrat Socialists of America today is the Democrat Party, and that's why we need to work double time. We need to work triple time to ensure that the party of boys playing in girls' sports, open borders, and unaffordability never, ever, ever gets foothold in the state of Florida ever again. Mark my words, we will never, ever cede an inch to the DSA. Can you get me with that? Do you agree, yes or no? You see, the two most stolen items in the world are your freedom and your money. And Democrats in Florida want to take both. Are you guys ready for a fight? Are you guys ready for a fight? Get ready for this fight, because the future of this great state is at stake. Yes, we have had historic wins in the state of Florida, but history is made by the people who actually show up, work hard, and go for it. This is a fight that we can win. This is a fight that we will win. Let's all make history again this November. All gas, no brakes. Average is the enemy. Never give up, never back down. Fight, 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 because Florida is worth fighting for. This state is unlike any other state in the nation. Let's keep her that way. America first, Florida always. Let's keep Florida fearless. On to victory in November. Let's go, team. Let's elect Byron Donalds governor, Ashley Moody Senate. Let's get it done. Thank you all for having me.
I told you he was quiet and kept his opinions to himself. Look, we have a lot of talent in this group. So our next speaker and our next nominee was a very successful attorney general here in Florida, and we all loved her. She answered the call to become our United States Senator. And like any Senator Moody move would be, she hit the ground running. I think one of her first sessions she presided over, they objected. All the Democrats wanted to give speeches. They didn't realize they were dealing with a former judge, and she smacked them all down. They weren't prepared for Senator Moody. Beyond that, she is one of the rare senators in the country. We talk about Florida leading the way. She's a senator who answered the call and said, election integrity is our #1 priority. I can skip recess. Let's vote on the Save America Act now. She is a tremendous senator. I'm looking forward to her taking on Angie Nixon, because if I've ever seen two diametrically opposed people, these are them. You have a sane, patriotic senator, and as we said in our press release when Angie Nixon actually launched her campaign, a crazy person. So that is the choice. But I have the pleasure of introducing our great United States Senator, Ashley Moody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sit down, because you're going to make me cry. I could cry when I was an attorney general, but now I'm a senator and they won't let me cry. I love you. Let me rephrase that. I love you, and I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much. So if I went Plant City grown, Florida strong. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if I told you last year that Florida would have a nominee to the United States Senate that was a self-declared socialist, would you believe me? No. Not a joke. Ladies and gentlemen watching back home, it is not a joke. This is not fictional TV series. This is reality. In the great free state of Florida, we have a self-proclaimed proud radical socialist running to be the senator to represent the free state of Florida. Not a joke. Not a joke. Look, today is day one of a unified ticket so that we can defend and protect this great state and our country. Day one, right here. And not a day goes by that I don't go into that Capitol and think there is no other place that I need to be. In any other profession and any other job, I am using every single job I've ever had, whether that was a federal prosecutor or a judge or attorney general or a wife of a law enforcement officer. That's a job. That's a job. That's a harder job than any of those others. Or a mom. Every day I go into that Capitol, I feel the responsibility and the weight of passing along this country to the next generation the way we found it. Free. A country committed to the ideals of our founders 250 years ago, that government's sole purpose is to protect our God-given rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and yes, the safety of our people. And somewhere along the way, as men and women answered the call to serve in the uniform and fought for those rights over those 250 years, many families lost loved ones who signed up to fight for those rights. Somewhere along the way, we as a society have taken our eye off the ball of the next generation that has to take the baton from us. And when I hear that the next generation, ages 18 to 34, only 14% of that generation are extremely proud to be an American, it breaks my heart and it terrifies me. Because the strength of the United States of America is not found merely in those documents that set up this fragile separation of powers in our government on your behalf. The strength of the United States of America is in the people who hold the power, that send people to represent them and be their voices to decide how we are going to live as a free people, which means limited government, not big government. Not government controls everything about your life. Not government controls your grocery stores and your energy and your daycare centers and everything private in private markets. American innovation and prosperity and success stemmed from a free America. Not a joke. I am now running against a woman who is a member of the party who hates America. I am not making that up. Their representatives say things like, America is the bane of humanity's existence. And I can tell you the oldest boy in our family couldn't be with us on Tuesday night. He's serving in the military. She is a member of a party, a proud member of a party, who says that the military is the supervillain that is holding civilization hostage. That's that party. We use the word crosswords. This is a rally. And I'm listening to everybody, and we're cheering, and we're excited, and we're going to win, and we are going to win, and we're going to win big. But I'm listening backstage, and I'm thinking, how many times, how many elections have we heard America is at a crossroads? America is at a crossroads. America is at a crossroads. This is the election. Listen to me. We have people being put up for the United States Senate for elected office, and let me also say, in elected office right now, who are anti-American, who are meeting with our foreign adversaries to try and work around the administration, who are pushing policies and voting accordingly to defund our police and law enforcement, break down our borders, abolish prisons, release harmful people into our communities, non-citizen voting. I could go on and on. They hate this country. They hate parental rights. They want to transition your kids without you knowing. They want to educate your kids to hate America without your knowing. I am not making this up. They are doing it now. So this is what I am telling you, and anyone watching, whether you are in Hillsborough County, the county that I grew up in and I love and I adore, and I'm so glad we're doing day one right here in Hillsborough County. But anywhere in the state of Florida, we are indeed at a crossroads in this country. We have subversive, obstructionist people that are getting elected to your government, and they are voting in a way that will light this country on fire from the inside out. It is what every foreign adversary of the United States of America wants. They've been trying to light that fire for decades. And now they have the people in office to do it. Now there is a United States Senate candidate on the Democratic ticket that will do it. I am the wife of a law enforcement officer. I have started a Back the Blue campaign. I attracted resources and training and recruited officers from all over the nation to come to the state that we built to be the most pro-law enforcement state in the nation. I fought against big government when it mattered the most, when they shut down our churches, they shut down our schools, they shut you up in your homes, they picked which businesses were going to get to operate and which weren't. We fought in court and won and opened back up entire industries. And when they tried to hide information from you, when they tried to hide behind the fact that they had no substantial science to back these things, I pressed Anthony Fauci as your United States Senator and got him to take the fifth 111 times and then held him in contempt of court. Because at the end of the day, as the Democrats kept standing up time and time again and trying to block the hearing, block you from ever knowing what happened, block us from even asking questions on your behalf, on behalf of the American people who lost loved ones and trusted the government, and many lost businesses. Their lives were destroyed. They don't even want us having the hearings. But at the end of the day, you're the bosses. We're just avatars. I am up there on your behalf asking your questions, getting to the answer for your children, for the country's future. So this is the country that remains the greatest country on earth for the next 250 years. And while you have someone who wants to destroy this country and make it a country that none of you would recognize, and let me make this very clear, Angie Nixon wants the United States of America to look like Cuba. That is what they want. In fact, they just celebrated the birth of Fidel Castro. You know, the guy that caused a revolution by saying it was for the people, for the working people, and then oppressed and trafficked and imprisoned them. That is the candidate up for United States Senate. So you better believe with every fiber of my being, as someone who has stood on that line, fought for law enforcement, stood up for our military, fought for our kids and their security and their safety, as someone who pushed back against big government so that our businesses could thrive and prosper without government in the way, I will always, always fight for an America that stands for prosperity and safety on your behalf, and we will win this election to make sure that Florida remains the firewall of freedom for the rest of this country. May God bless each of you and your families, and may God give us the strength and wisdom to protect the great free state of Florida. Thank you so much.
We talked a little bit about David Jolly a minute ago, but David Jolly is a guy who lacks conservative principles, lacks any principles. He was a Democrat. He became a Republican, became an independent, and then became a Democrat again. He went further than Charlie Crist ever imagined he could go in that circle. I like to refer to him as Timu Charlie Crist, because he's Charlie Crist without the charm. But he's been on every side of every issue. He's going to pretend to be a moderate now, but we know he will govern as a leftist. Our next speaker and our next nominee is a guy who's always had conservative beliefs, has always been a conservative fighter. He took that conservative fight to the State House, then he took that conservative fight to Washington, D.C. Now he's our nominee for governor. What I will tell you about Byron Donalds is that long before everyone looked at this race, he was going to Lincoln Day dinners. He was talking to our grassroots. He cares about the grassroots of this party. He put in the time, he put in the effort. I'll also tell you, every time I pick up the phone to call him on something for the party, he answers and asks how he can help. Because this movement is bigger than any one office. We are stronger, unified as a Republican Party working together. When we don't worry about what seats we're going to hold or what our future holds, but if we do the best we can to move the conservative fight forward. Byron Donalds shares those values. I'm excited that he's our nominee because he's a conservative fighter who I know will keep Florida winning for us time and time again. So it's my honor to introduce not only Congressman Donalds, but our future First Lady, Erica Donalds, and the next governor of the state of Florida, Byron Donalds.
Knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business. I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting.
I think the first thing we want to say is thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, over 800,000 votes all across the state is no small feat. But it's really, it's humbling to myself and to my wife. It's not just about a campaign. It's really about the people of Florida and making sure that the state continues to thrive and excel and be the very best. And so really from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of my wife, I just want to say thank you to the people of Florida for allowing me to be your Republican nominee for governor. And in 75 days, with your help, we are going to win the governor's mansion and keep Florida red. It's been an interesting day and a half. Got a chance to talk to President Trump last night. The president was obviously in high spirits, very grateful for all of your support. And you know, he's always thinking about what needs to come next. He's fighting for this country every single day. Every single day, I promise you, is what he's doing. We've got a chance to speak with Governor DeSantis earlier today. And you know, he's done a great job leading Florida these last 8 years. He's done a tremendous job. And so, you know, we're talking about some items. I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you, but it was good to talk to him today. Got a chance to speak with the Lieutenant Governor, Jay Collins. And I know when I spoke to everybody Tuesday night, Jay and I didn't get an opportunity to connect, but we have since then. And I really want to thank Jay for running a spirited campaign. And he's done a tremendous service for this state and obviously a tremendous service for this nation. And he deserves all of our thanks. I gotta admit, it was cool to sit in the back and watch Ashley Moody just be on fire. I like that, Ashley. I like fire, Ashley. This is gonna be a fun ride. You know, we spend so much time in these campaigns communicating about opponents. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna come to David Jolly in a moment, but I just wanna talk about us, and I wanna talk about the future of Florida. The reason why more people come to our state is because Floridians, which obviously includes Republicans, have chosen freedom and liberty over craziness and socialism and those stupid policies up north. That's the difference here. That's the difference. As I've traveled the state, I've met so many people. In any room I've ever been in, somebody always, I say I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. There's always somebody that gets excited. See, it just happened again. Always people from Brooklyn, somewhere in Florida. But it's not, then somebody shouts Queens. That usually happens too. But it's funny this year, 2026, what we're seeing is we have people from California who escaped the crazy, people from Oregon, Washington State, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Massachusetts. See, there we go. I'm sorry, Taxachusetts. I'm sorry. Connecticut, New Jersey, Maryland, and of course, New York. And they have come from all over the country because, to be blunt, they just can't take it anymore. They want a state that just makes sense. And so that's what we are going to deliver. We are going to build upon the great success of Governor Ron DeSantis, and we are going to keep Florida as the common sense state in all of America. I know she's having to move the baby out because the baby started crying, but I promise you that's okay. Because the cries of a baby, especially if you work in politics, is the greatest sound you will ever hear. Because in politics, unfortunately, we hear adults who like to whine too much. So when you hear a baby, it's okay. I thoroughly enjoy it and I love it. The other night I talked about building a Florida on top of the great success that we've already had, one that's achievable, one that's accountable, and one that's affordable. And the achievability part starts with that young child and our kids in this state. We have more than 3 million people that are kids in our schools right now, 3 million. Some of them are going to go to the universities like Florida State and the University of Florida and USF. Some of them are going to be Owls, and some of them are going to be at some of our other schools like FIU and UCF. But we have a lot of kids who aren't going to go to any of these universities. What about their future? What are they going to do? How are they going to build a wonderful life for themselves? Or how I coin it and phrase it, how are they going to build the Florida dream for themselves? You see, we're going to have some fun with the Democrats, but let's lay out what we are for and why they are nuts. And what we are for is making sure that our kids have a world-class K-12 education system. What we are for is to make sure that when they graduate high school, like this young man right here, that he masters math, reading, and writing so he can be effective and exceptional in the working world. What we are for is making sure that our kids are educated and not indoctrinated, because they're not experiments of the left. They are not experiments of the left. What we are for is that if a young man or if a young lady's not going to college or university, let them have an internship or an apprenticeship so they can hit the ground running when they graduate high school. And I'm going to expand more than I do. When I went to college, my wife went to college, we were told you have to get that bachelor's to be successful. You're 47, you're in that age group, that's what you were told. When we were in college, they would say, well, the bachelor's isn't enough, now you got to get a master's. A lot of heads are going up and down because you were told that too. Because the master's is how you're going to separate yourself. When my mother's generation was going to college, there weren't as many degrees. There weren't as many seats. But they were just told, if you go to college, you'll be great. And they majored in history or mathematics or English. And they hit the ground running in their careers. The bachelor's was enough. Well, in today's world, what we are quickly seeing is that being highly educated coming out of high school and having the skill set necessary to be in the workforce is a pathway for success. And in Florida, we want that pathway to not be looked at as second tier. We want that to be revered and honored and respected. So whether a kid has a college degree or a great credential, they both have that opportunity to build the Florida dream. That's what we are for as Republicans. When we talk about accountability, and Blaze was up here, the accountability is simple. Every government in our state will be doged and will be audited. Every one. He's got the FAFO sign. Hold that up again. Hold up the FAFO sign so everybody knows. We want to be respectful of the money that taxpayers give our government every single year. And we should, because it's not our money. It doesn't belong to a governor or a legislature. It doesn't belong to county commissions or city councils. It belongs to the hardworking men and women of the state of Florida. And let me tell you what we Republicans, what we are for. What we are for is making sure that you know where every dollar is being spent and you know what every contract says that is signed. Because it is your money and this government works for you. This government doesn't work in spite of you. And we want to have an accountable government here in Florida. That's what Republicans are for. But we're also for an affordable Florida. Insurance. We have more work to do. We got to fix it. Because listen, as I've been traveling the state, I've said to so many groups, so many people, when taxes and insurance are more than principal and interest, you got a problem. You got a problem. And so the tax amendment that's on the ballot, the voters of Florida will decide. But I'm just telling you now, pass or fail, we will be bringing this back next year for a thorough review, top to bottom, in the great state of Florida. And we want to be able to eliminate homestead property taxes for all Floridians. We want that. But if we can't get there, that relief needs to be targeted for seniors and working families in our state. That's where it needs to be targeted. You see, that's what we Republicans are for. And while we're talking about it, yes, our sheriffs are going to be paid because law and order is the standard in Florida, and that will not change as your next governor. That's the standard. And I know the Democrats really struggle with this, but we back the blue. I know they're trying to change their talking points now because this is the same party with the same people, the Democrats, who a couple of years ago were all for defunding the police, and they realized how stupid of a position that was, and now they're trying to reverse course and not tell the truth about what their party stands for. We as Republicans, we always stand behind law enforcement, and we always will. On insurance, yeah, we got more reforms on the insurance side. It's changing the regulatory market. We got some work to do there. But let me give you a little sneak peek at what David Jolly's talking about. You know, he's having an issue right now. I don't know if you've seen this. He says he's a capitalist, but he's looking forward to working with Angie Nixon. I've never known a capitalist a day in my life that ever stood by a socialist. Because capitalism and socialism do not work hand in hand. Capitalism is the greatest economic system ever known to man. Ever known. And let's just be very clear, capitalism is not corporatism. Capitalism is not cronyism. Capitalism is where you are allowed to, by the sweat of your brow and your grit and your innovation, earn money by the fruits of your labor, keep that money for yourself, and because you choose, you decide where that money is spent. That is capitalism. And that's what Republicans, that's what we are for. Now, David Jolly's insurance plan calls for a government takeover of property insurance in our state. Now, Edna, I don't know. I've known you a long time. Whenever I hear the government's going to take over insurance, that sounds like socialism to me. So this guy, David Jolly, who says he's a capitalist, his insurance plan sounds like a socialist. Because like I've been saying on the trail, David Jolly is a Trojan horse for the Democrat Socialists of America. And this November, we're going to make sure that David Jolly and Angie Nixon lose at the polls. When it comes to our economy, we are going to make sure that Florida's economy continues to grow while balancing the beauty of our great state, from agricultural lands like Wilton talks about to the wildlife corridors that he also talks about, because Florida's beauty is critical to Florida's future. We have to have strategies for fresh water for the future of our state and power generation for the future of our state. Because if you don't have drinking water and you don't have cheap baseload power, as an economy, you will struggle. We Republicans have always supported conservation in the state of Florida and the beauty of our environment. How do you think we're getting so close to finishing Everglades restoration? It's not because the Democrats helped us do it. Florida has done that under Republican control. And as your next governor, we are going to finish Everglades restoration once and for all and take care of our environment. Now let's talk about what's going to come this November. Let's talk about David Jolly. David Jolly's campaign to this point, as much as I can see it, has been a lot about believing. He wants to believe in change. David, we're the best state in all of America. I know you went to Pennsylvania when Ron DeSantis opened our state and ignored Fauci. I know you went to Pennsylvania and you hid away from, quite frankly, the best state in America. But we're the best. So I'm not quite sure why you would change direction from being the best. It sounds to me that when you're the best state in America, you keep going in the same direction you're going. You don't just switch up because somebody's looking for a promotion because they tried to run for the U.S. Senate back in 2016, but Marco Rubio said, "Stand aside, son, I'm coming back." David Jolly has said that he wants to apologize on behalf of Florida for all the culture wars. He says these culture wars are dividing the people of our state. I don't know if you've seen this, David, but Florida has been more united over the past 10 years than it ever was before. I'm not sure if David understands how this works, but I'm going to help educate him. You see, Milton Friedman had a simple law, and I don't know if David Jolly's ever heard of Milton Friedman. I might buy him Free to Choose, and he can read it. It might help him with his insurance plan. But Milton Friedman had a very simple rule that you can judge the public policy of a jurisdiction by the movement of feet. Because people leave crazy and people go to common sense. It happens every single time. So David, the party you represent now, that's the party that has stood for crazy. People are leaving that party. People are leaving states that are run by that party. And so if there's any change that's been going on in the United States the last 10 years, it has been the people of this country saying no to radical Democrats in every state in America, and that's why they choose Florida. That's why they choose us. David Jolly thinks it's okay for boys to be in girls' sports. He thinks it's okay to allow for transgender mutilation of our kids. And he says this is somehow allowing for belief in a new Florida. No, David. No. That's siding with the Democrat Socialists of America who do not respect the God-given puberty and humanity of our children. And as your next governor, we are going to continue to protect our children. That's what we're going to do. So when David Jolly says that he's tired of culture wars and division, I have a simple response for him. You should stand for common sense, David. Because if you're going to bend the knee to the Democrat Socialists, you're abandoning common sense. You're abandoning families. You're abandoning sound economics. You're abandoning parental rights. And in Florida, we are never going to abandon the hardworking people. We are going to fight for them every single day. And if that's a culture war, then sign me up. Let's go. Sign me up, David. You see, I'm still just a very common sense person. 10 years of politics elected is an interesting time. You go through a lot, you see a lot, you're behind the scenes, you're having to make the sausage, you're having to negotiate with colleagues. Sometimes you got to negotiate with colleagues on the other side of the aisle that just don't make a lot of sense, but you got to do the best that you can. In this entire time, the one thing that has really prepared me for this mission of keeping Florida a great state is watching what is happening at the federal level. I authored a bill that hit the floor of the House that was the largest cut in federal spending to ever hit the floor of the House of Representatives in the history of this country. It would have cut 30% of spending year over year. And the reason why I felt so strongly about that is because the nation's finances are important to the future of this country. I was asked by Jake Tapper the other day. He said, well, why is it that you guys can't get this under control? And I said, Jake, it's very simple. Republicans, we can pass budget reform bills, we can pass spending cut bills in the House year after year after year. But there's a problem, and it's called the United States Senate. And you cannot get a Democrat senator to do what is right on behalf of the fiscal outlook of this country. And that's why we continue to struggle. So in Florida, when I get asked, why run? It's very simple. I've seen the mess up close and personal in Washington, D.C. And my mission is to make sure that we protect Florida and we have a strong Florida and keep a free Florida for the next 30 years in our state. Not just the next 4 of a governor's term, but over the next 30. Because I want the Florida dream to continue to thrive and be alive. Erica and I want that for our sons. We want that for your children. We want it for that young man right there. We want it for the baby that had to go up the aisle because she was crying, and it was such a beautiful cry. but we want these children to be able to take the reins of leadership in our state, to take the reins of industry in our state, to innovate in our state, to build homes in our state, to protect our environment in this state. We want the Florida model, like Governor DeSantis says, the Florida blueprint, to be the blueprint for other states. And we know it works because people keep on coming. So guys, let me just tell you, 75 days, our mission is clear. We are going to beat the Democrats once again in November. Once again, we're going to beat them. And we're going to beat them because we're going to be very clear about the things that we are for. And the things that we are for are the common sense that people from all over this country come to Florida to achieve. We're not apologizing, David Jolly. We are standing on our success because we are the best state in America, and we are never going to change that. Let's go win in this November. Let's keep Florida free. Let's keep Florida red. God bless you guys. Let's go get this job done. God bless you.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish.
So I think you understand why we have the best Republican Party in the country, don't you? But we need you to do one more thing. We need you to recruit a friend to go walk doors and make phone calls for us, because in Florida, it's not worth just winning. We've got to win big to send the message to the rest of the country that Florida leads the way time and time again. Thank you all for being here tonight. The best Republican team in the country.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night.